Would you like me to sort your delivery?
You are generous as you are divine, oh booty queens and booty queens.
I don't give a damn what you're entitled to. So if you don't like it, you can take back your food and your castle and right off.
You should treat Books with more respect.
Welcome to Mystery Pony Fiction, hosted by the Mystery Fluttershy fan.
Questions number 143 and beyond by R.D. Number 143. What is this feeling? Sunny Starscout was conflicted. As incredible as it was to have her efforts at reunifying the pony races vindicted in far more spectacular fashion than she ever could have anticipated, it brought with it a catastrophic structural damage to her beloved home, Maritime Bay's iconic lighthouse, and the place that contained all her father's work with magical antiquities from before she'd lost him forever. From when she was still a bright-eyed, staunchy, optimistic filly with zero qualms about voicing her radical opinions about unicorns and pegasi. Admittedly, that was a trait she'd never let go of, even as she grew to young adulthood, and as Sunny sat through a grassy slope overlooking the lighthouse's reconstruction efforts, she reflected on how singularly crucial her stubbornness had turned out to be for the future of pony kind. Sunny was jarred from her introspective moodiness by the feeling of her hoof hesitantly tapping her back, the telltale rattling of a gemstone bracelet giving away its identity without needing to give it a second thought. Sunny! Gosh, I was calling your name for ages, Billy. You know you really shouldn't spend too much time in your own head. It's not healthy. Izzy Moonbow chastised, her chipper demeanour never faltering for a moment as she plonked herself down right in front of Sunny, obstructing the heart-wrenching view of her damaged domicile with a happy-go-lucky smile. Her face began to feel hot as fuzzy tingles of indescribable, heart-fluttering energy rippled through her from her point of contact. There it is again! But why? Shaking it off as best she could, she attempted to compose herself. Sunny opened her mouth to reply and found that, when she stared into her best friend's bewitching amethyst eyes, words simply wouldn't leave her lips. Izzy's eyebrow crept higher the longer her friend stayed, spaced out and silent. Is there something on my face? What's with the look? Oh, is this another staring contest? Izzy squealed excitedly and abruptly fell silent as she returned Sunny's stare with intense concentration, bottom lip jutting out goofily in the process. What? Sunny said breathlessly as her brain finally rebooted, shaking her head in a vain attempt to cover up whatever was fogging her thoughts. Ha ha! I win this time! Izzy exclaimed, pumping a hoof in victory. So that means you gotta start answering me. What's got your mind going all wacky, huh? Well, I've got some more questions I wanted to ask you. New ones, I mean. The ones that came to me while we were, saving the future of Equestria. She quickly pulled out her satchel and unbuttoned the cover, nearly fumbling it in the process. With shaky hooves, she hurriedly flipped towards the end of her list of questions. They're not anything about history or tradition, though. These questions are about you. Oh, like what? Did you want to know my favourite flavour of ice cream? Well, rainbow sherbet is pretty good. Her motor mouth was abruptly halted as Sunny's hoof was held up to her lips. Why do I get this feeling of butterflies in my stomach whenever I look at you? Sunny said breathlessly, the effort of that monumental question feeling like a Herculean weight had just been lifted off her shoulders. Whatever Izzy might have been about to say left her mouth with a fading whimper, her eyes widening in surprise as a rosy blush lit up her cheeks. Sunny? The kindling embers in Sunny's heart began to crackle with newfound life as a feeling of self-assured confidence filled her chest, born of countless pro-friendship protests around her closed-minded hometown. Staunchy with her brow furrowing further and further, she continued reading down her list. allowing the emotional furor of the moment to fuel her interrogation come confession. Why can't I stop thinking about you? Why does everywhere you touch me leave a tingle? Is all of this part of your crazy unicorn powers? With a strong inhale, Sunny finally paused in her questioning, her breaths coming in staccato gasps. Sunny could hear Izzy's horn alight with its newly unlocked sorceress power as that ethereal blue shimmer lit up in her periphery. But before she could ask any further embarrassing and confusing questions, Izzy's telekinesis pushed Sunny's chin upwards and away from the pages of her notebook. Her heart thumped heavily in her chest as Izzy's knowing, half-lidded gaze filled her vision, and she could feel the insistent force of telekinesis against the back of her head, preventing her from pulling away as Izzy's face moved swiftly towards hers. In that singular, magical moment, as sunset gave way to twilight in the sky above them, their muzzles met. A collective shudder rolled through them the moment that they made contact. Izzy's telekinesis fading away to nothing as Izzy dropped her notebook to the grass and gripped Izzy's barrel in her forehooves. All of the questions she'd had, all of the confusing and unfamiliar feelings that had been welling within her from the moment they'd first locked eyes in that hectic encounter in Maritime Bay, resolved themselves in an instant. She could feel Izzy's broad tongue licking against her lips, the older and more experienced mare begging for an entrance, which Sunny wholeheartedly allowed, a muffled giggle passing through her whenever the other mare's tongue ticked a sensitive spot in her maw, with a martial prowess that heavily subverted her childlike, hyperactive demeanour. The unicorn's deft muscle quested through and conquered every square inch of her interior, sending Sunny's head spinning as her eagerness to reciprocate led her completely out of her depth.
Wow.
The husky, awed voice of their pale Pegasus friend cut through their rapturous union in an instant, the two mares blushing furiously as they hurriedly disentangled and tried in vain to make it look like they hadn't just been snogging at sunset like some kind of stereotypical romance novella. Zip landed hesitantly on the grass as she carefully considered her next statement, shuffling her wings restlessly as she folded them against her sides. I was gonna ask how you two are doing, but I guess I don't need to. Zip, please don't tell any pony about this. Reintegrating the races is one thing, but I don't think every pony would be ready for something like this just yet, Sunny exclaimed, glancing around hurriedly for any other potential witnesses. Whoa, 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 slow your roll there, pony girl. My lips are as sealed as long as yours are. Sunny and Izzy shared a meaningful glance at each other's spit-slickened lips as they gave Zip sheepish smiles, getting a good-natured laugh out of the Pegasine princess. Oh, you know what I mean. Geez, keep it in your saddlebags, you two. That was so adorable, wasn't it, guys? Aren't Izzy and Sunny just the cutest couple? Pip purred sweetly into a front-facing camera, although a quick glance at the appalled expressions on the other three ponies' faces caused their sweet smile to falter, returning her focus back to her camera as her wings fluttered anxiously. Pip hurriedly closed her live stream with her signature catchphrase and grinned sheepishly at the other ponies as she quickly stowed her phone beneath her downy wing. Pip, what the hell are you thinking? Zip shouted furiously, getting right up in her sister's face as her wings flared out at her sides. Do you have any idea what less understanding ponies are going to think about what you just streamed to the entirety of ZH? Do you honestly even think about what you're doing half the time? Mouth hanging open in horrified realization as she beheld the hurt looks on Izzy and Sunny's faces, Pip couldn't find any words to excuse her behaviour. With tears quickly welling in her eyes, she at last made an attempt. I'm so sorry. I was just so happy for the two of you that I've ruined everything. Her tears ran in trails down her cheeks as she turned tail and ran, unable to bear the potentially disastrous consequences of her actions. Zip's angered expression broke into an exasperated sigh as her ears flopped downward. I'm really sorry, you two. I'm going to try to see if I can help my sister fix this mess. You two just talk things out, alright? Try not to let what other ponies think ruin this for you, yeah? Without another word, she was off like her namesake, chasing after her distraught and impulsive sister. Sunny and Izzy were left in painfully awkward silence in the wake of the Pegasine princess's sudden intrusion into their moment. Izzy, taking the initiative, was the first to open her mouth. So, you wanna talk things out some more? She purred, wiggling her eyebrows as she gave Sunny that half-littered come-hither stare that she already knew drove the other mare wild. Rolling her eyes and scoffing, Sunny pulled her new mare friend close once more. You are incorrigible, Iz. But yeah, I'd like that very much. All those thoughts of the uncertainty and strife that Pip had just thrust upon them left her mind as her lips met once more, the two of them flopping belly to belly into the grass as their hooves journeyed across each other's manes and bodies. Whatever the future would bring, the two of them wouldn't go down without a fight. After all, when had Sunny's Star Scout ever been one to play by the rules? Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider joining my Patreon, patreon.com/TMFF, to get early access to audiobooks and to be able to request I do a reading of what you want, provided the author approves. Thank you to Artlist.io for providing the massive music and sound effect library that I have to work with. And most of all, thank you to the bronies who write the amazing stories that inspire me to make these. Fluttershy and Izzy are best ponies. I now have a Discord server where you can join in and chat with other fanfiction fans. If you enjoy what I do, you can donate to me on Ko-Fi, links in the description.